Alright, so today we're going to take a look at how to win an unwinnable situation. Now, you won't find videos like this very often on YouTube. Actually, I don't think you will probably ever find anything like this, because what we have here today is we have two squads that are somewhat semi-competent that are about to basically be the center point of a realistic match. It all comes down to whichever of these squads wins basically wins the game. Because these are the only people that are currently in this match that we're about to watch that are using their brains, that are trying to win, and are trying to work together to achieve that goal. So in our corner here, we've got my boys. So we're a three-man squad. I've got Lieutenant Dan, Flank, and me. You can see my squad mates are green here in the sensor view. I'm the yellow fighter. And what we have up against is a four-man squad, so we're outnumbered by one, technically. Now, if I take away the sensor view, you can see here the squad that we are looking at are these fellas here, the GPHI boys. There's 3 Hornets over there, and they've got a Spitfire lagging behind. Now, we're also going to have to contend with this other fella here who's not part of this squad, but is in a Hornet. But we'll get to him in a bit. So we're going to switch back to sensor view. So those are the guys that we're going to face and are going to be the center point of this game. So the Hornet Mark III it's not a bad plane, but it's not meta. It's a heavy fighter, twin engine. It gets air spawn, and this is the trick to the Hornet, is that it's a very fast aircraft. Its climb rate is okay. It's not meta, but because of its air spawn, and if you take a look, we're on the Malta map here. Because of its air spawn, you can get a very good game out of it just because you have altitude advantage. You will be able to gain that, and there will be very few aircraft in the game that are going to be able to compete with your altitude advantage. No one's going to be able to quite climb to match you. The only people that can beat you are going to be other aircraft that have air spawn that have a decent climb rate. So right here, if you take a look, you will see something interesting. For the first time in all my videos, we have the enemy that has the altitude and the positional advantage, right? Our entire team has basically foregone trying to gain any real kind of altitude, and we have all committed into the furball, into the middle down here. Once again, it's Malta, it's a small map, but even if it wasn't Malta, this is usually the common occurrence that happens, especially with the US teams, US dominated teams, which is the case here. There's a lot of US mains on our side here. So right now, the enemy have no contestation over the airspace in terms of altitude at the very top. So they have the initiative. My boys here, because we like to play to win, we're going to be the only contestants here that are going to try and compete for the airspace above the battlefield. And this is where the fight's going to happen. And we're going to end up having to clutch the game against these 4 guys, plus this other 5th fella here and the other Hornet. And because we win this fight that's about to happen here, we basically win the game for the team. Otherwise, it was all going to go downhill. So, we are side climbing off to the left here. And the lone Hornet Mark III that's not part of the squad right there, his name is Bloopsy. He is going to come in and engage us, and I think he is actually going to get a kill out of the bat here. Now, let me just run the tape here. So, once we see that he's committed, now we have to turn in and engage. It's not the most ideal because we have one bandit that's going to be engaging our section here of three fighters. So it's one guy who's going to be tying down 3 dudes, and really what we need to be doing is to be side climbing off a little bit to try equalize the altitude against these Hornets, but we're not going to get that chance here. So this is going to be one hell of a uphill battle.
I'm rolling out with Merlin.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's a team. Oh my god.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. We better lock in then. Alright, we just need to wait for them to come down, and once they do, that's it. They're done. They can't do anything. That thing has...
So if we can make them miss once, we can get them
done for.
Okay. There's fucking 4 of them, Merlin.
There's 4 of them.
We just gotta...
3 of them.
He rolled.
3 of them.
Loops just rolled. He's coming down somebody. It's you flanking.
Yep.
Just dive.
Oh.
Well...
What the fuck? Alright, cool.
So, here is problem. Flank at this point in time was daydreaming. I'll just put it like that. He wasn't quite locked in, so he just gets sniped straight off the bat by this guy. So the only two people left is me over there to the left and Lieutenant Dan over here on the right into the green fighter. And what we're gonna have to do is that, like I said, we're gonna have to contest all four of these guys plus this one fella that's dived down here in the other Hornet. We're gonna have to tie them up and we're gonna have to beat them basically without the altitude or the positional advantage. So there goes Flank, he's shot down in flames, and I dive in here, get a firing solution. I think I take a shot. No, not at this point. At this point, I don't get any shots. We get him later. He zooms away, Mr. Bloopsy. He zooms away. We don't get anything out of that, so Flank died for nothing there. And now the rest of the party is now coming in at us. So at this point, the rookie mistake is to try and keep climbing in some way, shape, or form. You can't afford to do that. It is way too late for that, especially against the Hornet. Not going to happen. What you need to do now at this point, if you've watched my previous videos on how to fly defensively, you need to get as much energy as you can. So in this case, it's just airspeed. You need speed. If you don't have speed, then you're toast, because they already have altitude. They're already in fast airplanes. They already have the position. All you have that you need to get is energy in the form of airspeed. So here's what happens. They start making probing attacks. Now you can tell that they are a little bit more competent than your average War Thunder pilot, because you will see that they will keep one guy up high and then send two guys in to attack. Now the fourth member of their flight in the Spitfire, he's not spotted yet. I can't show him because of the way the replay system is in War Thunder. It doesn't quite work out the way it should. But he'll be coming in a second. But you can see here that they won't overcommit to any one attack. All right, so they tried to double team Dan there, both these guys here, and once Dan started making defensive moves, they just gave up. And you can see here they did it again. They came in, swooping in at an angle on me from behind. I make a defensive turn, and then they break off.
Great round.
Oh, I mean,
His buddy's coming.
Let's dance. Yep.
Survive.
Let's dance, buddy.
It's all four of them.
Yeah, get away from me. Pull off.
He switched. Yep, he's on me.
Two of them are coming at you.
Okay, evaded one. I'm extending out to the west.
I think Bloops is coming at me, I think.
Yeah. Now, I should explain here why the reason is, particularly when you're talking about the Hornets. Like I said, the Hornet is a good aircraft, but it's not meta. Just because the moment you are able to equalize energy states with the Hornet, it's a trash aircraft. It can't really maneuver against a meta plane like a 51H or a Bearcat or a Yak or some kind. Even Mark 24 Spitfire, even against a Mark 9 Spitfire, you can get some pretty good results as well against the Hornet. But once you equalize energy states, then the Hornet is always at a disadvantage. Your single engine meta aircraft, like I've listed out just now, they'll be able to one-on-one the Hornet, no problem, win the dogfight. Their only advantage now, as I've said at the beginning, is because they started off the air spawn. So long as they can keep their positional advantage and have an energy advantage as well, wherever possible, they will be able to still keep the initiative and dictate the terms of the fight. So you will see them be very, very cautious, because they know that. You can tell the way they fly, they know what their weaknesses are. So yeah, here we go. So we've got the two pair that went off, the attack came back down. Now what we have here is, I believe that is the member that's not part of their squad. Let me switch off the sensor view. Yeah, so this guy here, the guy that's not part of the squad, the guy that killed Flank, he's now coming in to start his attack. And we see that this other fella over there, he's the guy that's being kept in reserve. The Spitfire pilot is off over here, I believe. That guy, the dot there, he showed up for a second just now. Yeah, he's right there. He's not spotted on our sensor, well, not spotted in game using the mini radar. He's not spotted by that. We don't have the marker yet, but on the replay system here, we can see him coming in now. Okay, so Bloopsy begins an attack on Dan. Dan dodges it very well. Now the pair from the squad is now commencing their own attack, and they're coming in now. Now I swung off to the right off here, and now I'm coming back. Now you're gonna see me trying to keep distance with Dan, because I know that if they manage to isolate either one of us, we're toast, basically. There's no way we're gonna be able to get in out of this. So long as we can keep ourselves close to each other in some kind of way or form, we can basically introduce more variables to them to think about. Because if we just isolated ourselves, then we become less of a threat. If so long as we are somewhat close to each other, then they know in the back of their minds that they need to keep their game on, because you never know when we might get lucky and might get a shot off, which ends up happening here. You're about to see. Oh, you're going right into them. Careful.
Yeah.
It's the Spitfire out there. They're all coming down now. They're all on you.
I made a miss. Let's go. Put them pulled off. I think.
Yeah.
It is
we
a
got
full force
Spitfire.
stack. They have a Spitfire up there with them too. What the hell?
Christ.
Oh my goodness.
I'm near you, Dan.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right on top. Oh, boy. I'm going out to the north.
Gotcha.
So I turn back into Dan. Now, the reason why I bring that up is if you're in a position like this, the way you want to play it out, if you're in an ideal way, is that you want to climb away from this. There's no point in trying to climb right now and try to compete directly with them. You're not going to win that. What you need to do is that you need to disengage from them. You need to get from under them off to the sides of the battle space and start climbing away, and then try equalize your altitude. But we don't get that luxury here because there's 5 of them now, actually, and they're all gunning for us. So instead, the difference, the other way that we try to deal with it is, like I said, try to stick close to your wingman, keep the speed up, and then wait for them to come down and make a mistake. Now we have another guy who's daydreaming, Mr. P51H here, who's climbing blissfully. He gets smoked. So we catch a break here. Yeah, this is how proper teamwork, it's supposed to be. You show up at the battlefield and get shot at by the enemy. So me and Dan get the break here. We start extending out to the side, try to get altitude, and then wait for them to engage us again. These guys are not going to commit into the furball. They've already demonstrated that they kind of know what they're doing, and they are demonstrating now that they intend to win the game. Actually, they actually are playing to win. So here we are, extending off, trying to equalize altitude. Well, Bloopsy just committed full into the mid. Okay, I'm gonna climb to space. I get a drop on these guys. 51, wake up.
That 51's not gonna wake up. He's dead.
Oh my god.
The guy's getting hit by 4 people at once. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's gone.
These guys are about to crash into each other and shoot each other down. That would be hysterical. I think they just one of those guys just got hit.
Is it? I think it was just smoke.
Oh, is that just smoke?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it stopped. I thought for a second that maybe it was just like they ran out instantly. So anyways, they're heading your direction now.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they've dropped quite a bit of altitude. Should be able to outclimb them, but it's gonna be a long game. We're not gonna be able to get that far because the Hornet is faster, especially at that altitude right there. We're gonna have to turn in to engage momentarily. Now, on the flip side, what has happened to the rest of the team is that we have won the main furball on the deck. So we have come out on top by 1 aircraft, I believe. Just looking at the roster here, we've got the enemy team and the spare Hornet. Yeah, there's only a 162, which is all the way down there. He's the last member of the main fighter group that went into the middle, and we have about four other members on our team who have survived that. So we've already won the main furball there, which is good. It means we don't have to even hard carry further, which is the usual situation for someone like me. But it doesn't mean that we're out of dodge, because even though we've won the furball down there, the real victory is going to lie on who is going to win this fight here over the altitude above the airspace. So I am using the Bearcat's amazing engine, just zooming off the space. Dan couldn't quite get away because he was tangled up further in the furball at the very beginning. So at this point, he has to commit into this turn here. He has to defend himself. There's no point in trying to follow my maneuver here. And you can see I've already turned. Once I see that Dan is being engaged, it's time to turn in and help deal with this guy. So this guy is a part of the enemy team, the enemy squad. He's not the solo guy. In fact, the bloopsy fella has already committed down into the middle of the furball. So we'll see him later. He'll be back. But for now, we just have to deal with this squad. So it's a 4-on-2. Dan defends himself. I come in here, take some shots. I get a hit on this guy right there. I don't think he saw me coming, because by the way that he took his flight maneuver, it was like offering himself up at that point. So I'm not entirely sure what was going on there. All four just appear. It's like, oh, hello. Okay, we got this guy. Oh, my engine's overheated.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not trying to dance with this Hornet right
Yeah,
now.
I'm coming back to you.
The Hornet behind you is gaining real fast.
Real fast. Yeah, I know, I know.
Alright, it's a 4-on-2.
He peeled off. I might zoom up and try something stupid.
Oh, the Spitty's gonna drop you if you do that.
Yeah, you will, yeah.
Okay, Spitfire inbound. I'm not pursuing.
Get fire on you, Merlin.
Yep, Spitfire on you.
Spitty and one of the Hornets.
I'm extending out north. Okay, time to dance.
Meet turn.
Now, the main threat here that we have is the Spitfire. Just because it's the LF Mark 9, what he's going to do is that he's trying to be the disruptor, basically. Because he knows that in a one-on-one, he's pretty much even with the Bearcat. He can afford to overcommit to any one of us and then maintain a dogfight situation, whereas the Hornets can't. So it's going to be his job for his squad to full commit into either one, me or Dan, either one of us, full commit to one of us, and then have the Hornets circle above like vultures and wait for an opportunity to then swoop in and knock us out. So this is where this happens. So I full commit into the dogfight here. The Spitfire had altitude, he had speed, he had the initiative. Now we go into a proper dogfight there. Dan is now contesting with one of the Hornets. The other two Hornets that are flying close together in pairs in the very start of the game, they're circling above, waiting for opportunity. This right here was a slight mistake on their part. They are too split up. The Spitfire is already full committing to me, so they need to make a decision as to which of these fights that are occurring here that they want to commit their element to. The way I would have done it is that I would have just split this element up, because instead of having a single fight going on here, a single fight going on here, and then a pair, what you want to do is that you want to have a pair engage one and another pair engage the other. So you have this guy here that's fighting Dan. You pick this other fella over here. He should be closer and above him so that he can pick off Dan when he makes a mistake and have the other guy coming down and support the Spitfire. That would have been the better play, but they don't elect to do that. So I get into the dogfight here with the Spitfire. And okay, so the thing about the Bearcat, right? Bearcat, everyone underestimates it. It is a very, very maneuverable aircraft. It is one of the last planes in the US Navy fighter prop line. So after this, you get into jets, I believe. You have this in the Tiger Cat, which is in a bracket on the tech tree. Bearcat, very maneuverable. It can outturn quite a lot of aircraft. the way you want to win this fight with the Spitfire is that in a straight turn fight, right? If we're looking at stats, the Spitfire will win, right? So if you just go in the flat horizontal turn, Spitfire will win outright. The Bearcat, as I've said, it is actually very maneuverable. All you need to do is just introduce a vertical element to whatever fight that you're in, and you can either stick with the Spitfire, or if you make all your correct maneuvers and counter moves against the Spitfire, you can actually get angles on it, which is what's going to happen here.
Back towards you, Dan?
Yep.
Yep.
Spitfire full commit.
I can go for him.
Come on.
All right, one of the other Hornets is coming in now, Dan. You're going to have to start extending again.
Yep. Oh, I see him. Okay.
Yeah.
The dive wakes some speed.
Merlin, the other one's diving you.
Shit.
No, he's just looping above still. He's just looping above still. He's diving in now. He's avoiding Dan.
Oh,
All right,
God, that
Dan,
was
go
my
help
shot.
with this pity. Help with this pity, because fuck this
Yeah.
guy.
Spitz got hit.
Yeah, come on.
So we took defensive measures by going to shallow dive, getting speed, and now we go into the rolling scissors. And this right here is where the Bearcat can get an advantage. And you're going to see me do that here. Pop flaps, manipulate the throttle controls, and I'm going to be able to get one shot. And I actually hit him here. Right? So you can see Spitfire has the turning advantage on the Bearcat, but there is a lot more to dogfighting than just pure statistics. With the Bearcat, you have a better engine. It is very maneuverable. I'm beating him here in what's called the roll rate. All right, I can roll slightly better than him. So when you get into the rolling scissors, I can get some better angles onto him, which allows me to get the shot off here. I also manipulated the flaps and the throttles. It's a little bit advanced, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but basically depending on where your position is in this rolling scissors, you need to determine whether or not you need to deploy the flaps, retract the flaps, throttle up or throttle down. So I get shots on him there. Dan is contesting with his one lone Hornet, and now the pair, which I said before was out of position, they're now jockeying for shots in on him. So I'm communicating with Dan here, saying that I'm in this dogfight of the Spit and I'm going to need help, because even though I've managed to get hits on him and get angles, you can see what has happened here. So we have now hit the bottom, and this is where I start to make a very big mistake. I've got no more room to maneuver. So the correct move for a Bearcat in this position is to just break off the fight. I just need to extend away. I will be able to beat the Spitfire in terms of speed and climb at this altitude in this position here, especially at this point in the turn. I'll be able to disengage so that I can reset to re-engage. But I'm thinking in my mind is like, okay, I've got hits into him. I've got 20 mils, 4 of them. They were M3s. Maybe he's already been hit so bad that his turning characteristics already shot the hell. Well, that was not the case. This right here is not proper tactical thinking. This is just gambling at this point. So Spitfire is getting turns on me, and he's about to get shots in on me. Dan is fighting for his life on the other side here, but Dan is going to do some Hail Mary moves right here. But I'm in a circle fight with him.
Go scrum.
Oh, he's getting angles on me now.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Yep.
Oh! He overshot. Well done. The other two are... One more's coming in behind.
I'm
You got
coming
time to take a
right
shot. I'll watch your 6.
Got you. It's pretty dead.
Well fucking done. One of the Hornets is right above.
I see him.
Okay.
I'm extending out.
One diving you now. The one you hit,
Yep.
Merlin, the one you hit. He stayed up.
F8F is diving on that Hornet, I think. Yeah.
I'm
Come
heading
on, Hornet.
southeast.
Oh, come on, F8F. Come on, F8F. Get him.
That Hornet's on you, that Hornet's on you, Dan.
Contd,
Careful,
Dan.
careful.
Yep.
Okay. You're good.
That
Got it.
F8F to kill him.
That
Yep.
one's dead. The other one's diving. The top one's diving.
Yep.
I think I haven't asked Dan what he was thinking at this point in the fight, but I can make a good educated guess because I played games with him for years at this point. Basically, seeing as how conservative the pair of Hornets were, and how he's been able to defend against the guy that they keep sending down to attack. The moment he catches a break here from him, he just full sends it, comes to help me with the Spitfire, which is like the best move that can be made at this point in time, because we need to eliminate this Spitfire right here. He is the biggest threat. Once we eliminate him, trying to handle these 2E Hornets here, it just becomes a game of chess. This is the big variable that is screwing up most of the calculations right now. So I take him into vertical, and as you can see here, once again, the reason why I have to take this move here is because if I wanted to do that extension move that I talked about earlier, I needed to have done it right at that point in the first turn. At this point, because I've stuck into the turn fight with the Spitfire for about 3 rotations now, I don't have enough speed to try extend away. He'll be able to get guns. But as you can see here, even though the Spitfire does have the better turn rate, or should I say the turning characteristics, the turn time, sorry, he can't actually get his nose onto me to get a firing solution. Once again, because the Bearcat, once I introduce a vertical element into the dogfight, the Bearcat is more maneuverable in the sense that I'll be able to roll in and out away from his guns. So he can't, he's not able to get a shot. And here comes in Dan the man, saves the day, rips his wing off, and that's the end of that. So now it's gone from a 4-on-2 to a 3-on-2, and it's just a game of chess now. It's move, counter move, and wait for the enemy to make a mistake. And the big mistake here that has been made is that they have grown complacent. They've been trying to focus this for the entire game. All of a sudden, a random blueberry appears, and this is not a normal occurrence. He swoops in, gets shots off, and I think at some point he gets a kill. I'm not sure if this is, yeah, right there. Shears the tail off that Hornet, gets the kill. And now we've gone from a 4-on-2 to a 3-on-2 to very quickly a 2-on-2. So me and Dan are now leveling off. We're on the deck, so we don't have much space to maneuver in terms of the vertical to gain speed or anything. So now it's all on us to just do a lot of jinking and defensive turns to try bait these last 2 Hornets in. Right, so at this point in the fight here, I'm talking to Dan. Since there's only 2 of them left, oops, sorry. Since there's only 2 of them left, we need to like at the very beginning, extend away, because there's no point trying to compete with them when they're right on top of us. We need to go away off to the side and try extend and gain altitude. Dan sadly is not going to be able to have this option. So what happens here is that Dan's actually going to be the bait. He's going to have to keep both of these Hornets preoccupied while I go off to the side here and gain for altitude. And then I'm going to turn back in once they've made a mistake of some kind and re-engage. So yeah, right about here, you can see that all the position that the Hornets have been trying to hoard all the energy for the entire duration of the fight up until now, they've finally given up. They've kind of grown, like I said, they have grown complacent because they let a random Bearcat come in from behind and snipe one of their wingmen. So right now, we are in a good position now. We have almost completely equalized the position. So I commit to this upward maneuver, trying to get shots on that Hornet. Other guy misses me because Hornet's not that maneuverable, so he wasn't quite able to get angles on me. So now the situation has switched. As you can see, 30 seconds ago, it was me who was climbing off to the side out of the engagement zone to get altitude and equalize. Now it's different. Dan has gone off to the side because I'm the one who's now engaged, and it's now my job to defend myself whilst Dan gets position and energy. Now the blueberry here very nicely is helping out. You don't get a lot of help from blueberries in the game. So Hornet to the right has gone off vertical. Hornet to the left made a mistake. He's turned in too soon. He's given angles to Dan. He's getting off shots. I don't think Dan got any hits into that attack right there. But yeah, Fight's not over just yet. So now I'm trying to extend off to this side here because they've disengaged and Dan is now engaged. Once again, trying to get altitude. Now they're recommitting to the attack. Dan goes into a defensive maneuver. I turn around. I think it was at this point in the game that I'm screaming to flank. Where the hell's the rest of the team? We won the main fight. We need help now. That was another thing that I forgot to mention throughout this fight is that even though Flank died in like 2 seconds and didn't get anything out of it, he is constantly helping both me and Dan keep situational awareness in the game. He's spectating and he's keeping eyes on all the guys throughout this fight and telling us when they're attacking or where they are, how far away they are. Now that's a good teammate right there. So I think we're getting to the point where we're finally about to properly win this whole engagement here. Mr. Hornet Mark III makes a mistake. I finally get angles on him, take shots, no joy. And then I full commit into this vertical maneuver right here. And I don't think he was too happy with that. I shear off his right wing. In a pretty long shot, I think. Was it that far? It was only about 500, 600 meters, so no, it wasn't actually that far. It was prime range for the M3 20 mils. So yeah, he's toast. That leaves only one.
Dude, you have this fight right back by the airfield too, Merlin, and your teammates are just flying around.
Okay. Oh, he's coming down.
Yep.
I'm turning back in.
Going off.
Keep extending out. Keep extending out. We can't win this fight.
Yeah. Because he's about to take a shot at
Oh
me.
shit. Okay.
Yep.
You're not getting a shot though.
Good turn.
Oh, here
Second guy's
comes.
coming down.
Yep.
I'm 2 clicks out.
Very close, but good maneuver.
Next thing towards the airfield.
Going vertical. Got hit. Severe.
His buddies, you have
Good
time,
shit.
you have time. His buddies, he's just now coming back in.
He's down.
Merlin, get back down.
Coming
to
down.
speed.
Yeah.
That was fucking beautiful. Good shot.
That was beautiful.
It worked, it worked.
And we finally get help. 51H, who won the main furball fight, went back to base, rearmed, and now he's coming back to the fight here. And I'm pretty sure that it is the 51 that gets the kill on the final Hornet here. Remember, once you've equalized altitude position with the Hornet, it's basically toast. There's nothing much you can do against a normal single engine fighter. So I'm just gonna speed up the game here. Me and Dan are just extending away to the left because we're trying to get altitude again. 51 sprays and prays. Still is getting in behind him. Yeah, and there you go. 51 has shot down the last guy on the Hornet. So, only thing left in this fight is, interestingly enough, if we just speed up the replay here, is this fella. And look who it is, Bloopsy, the guy who shot down Flank from the very beginning. He's come back, returned, and now we are in the last final dogfight. And basically, it's over for him. We already have... Well, we actually had a slight altitude advantage, I believe, on him when we got into this fight. The problem here is that Dan makes a very big mistake and gets shot down. Yeah. So Dan was locked in for the entire fight up until this point, and then complacency hits again, he gets shot down. And then after that, it's just me pursuing the Hornet till the very end. There's nothing he can do. He's toast at this point, and that's the end of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's got him now.
Yep.
Boom!
Son of a bitch. Get the
Great
fuck out
shot,
of here.
Merlin.
Great shot.
Get the fuck out of here. Well done, Merlin. Sheesh.
So yeah, that is how you win what should have been an unwinnable situation. It was a 3-on-4, well, technically a 3-on-5 at the very start. There was 5 enemy aircraft that intended to play the game to play to win. 4 Hornets and a Spitfire. 4 of them were squatted up, 1 wasn't. The guy that wasn't squatted up, he did get first blood, but then went away off to get more kills. And then the last 4 guys that were trying to get some coordination in with together, we managed to beat them despite them having positional and energy advantage. We came out on top. You can tell that in terms of air combat tactics, especially within squad tactics, you can see that they're not quite well trained as my guys are. You can tell that because the way they were positioned and the way the timing of their attacks, most importantly. If you watch some of my previous videos, especially the one with the Corsairs, you can see what good proper timing looks like when you cycle attacks with multiple aircraft on either a single target or even multiple targets, how it's properly done. They weren't quite able to do that. They were way too cautious with their maneuvers and their attacks, and they gave way too much space to me and Dan that allowed us to work our magic and get the job done.